Crises, responses, rallies, lootings, money printing, in that order or otherwise. This is happening now. It has happened before. It has gone bad. It could go worse, or it could go to shits. The issue here is, obviously, central authority. More specifically, governments and central banks. As a result of this ongoing pandemic, holders of US dollars as well as other fiat currencies have unwittingly, without being asked for consent, have paid a hefty hidden tax so governments can pay for the economic shutdown they've mandated. Imagine if there was a flu going around in your apartment building and your wallet, out of nowhere, just came to life and decided to give some of its contents away to your neighbors so they stay in their flats and not come near you. This may sound stupid, but mathematically it is no different to central banks' practices. The key word here being central. Central meaning power under a single authority. And let me tell you, in my opinion, centralized authority is not a good idea at all, unless it's crucially necessary. Centralized authority is like the Midas touch, except shit is involved. You catch my drift? Yes, mostly everything the government touches will turn to shit. And if you look at history, you'll see some cause and effect examples. They wanted to make universities more accessible, so they guarantee the loans of 18-year-olds coming out of high school. And what's the effect? Sky-high tuition.
It is government's fault that all these student loans exist. Around the 1960s, once the 18-year-olds could vote, this was a big thing. They lowered the voting age from 21 down to 28. So now you have all these 18-year-olds that are about to go to college. And so here's what the politicians said to all the 18-year-olds. We're going to make it possible for you to borrow money to go to school by guaranteeing the loans. Once the colleges saw that all these kids can borrow money to go to college, well, they were like, this is great. I'm just going to raise prices.
They wanted to make people trust banks more, so they guaranteed deposits. This allowed banks to get bigger, and it let their practices grow shitty. Then, after the banks failed in '08, they bailed them out. We ended up with even bigger banks, greater inequality, and now hidden, even shittier practices. Now we're hearing whispers of another bank failure from collateralized loan obligations. I'm not surprised. Money, 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 money. But what is money? What money is and what it means has been negotiated throughout history. For a while, it was seashells and crabs. Then, for the longest time, money had to be a scarce commodity, something you couldn't just get a hold of easily. Now, the status quo is suggesting that the only thing that makes money money is if you're able to pay taxes with it. In a world where suit and now mask-wearing central bankers can print money to finance almost 50% of the US Treasury's on-the-run debt, what is money? What is money when it is being used to pay people more to stay at home than to go to work? You don't have to be a genius to realize that something is seriously off. I mean, what is money if it's not a means to allocate resources efficiently? The answer, I believe, lies in the blockchain technology. Most people associate blockchain technology with Bitcoin, but now it's way beyond that. It has the potential to build another internet. And in this video, and maybe a second or third one, I'll try to explain why. The blockchain provides a new definition of money. Start quote. It is a system in which a record of transactions made in cryptocurrency are maintained in a peer-to-peer network. End quote. So, slowly let's try to dissect this definition. The key words here are record of transactions. You see, no matter how complex or how big or small they are, at their root, transactions are merely bilateral exchanges. And keeping record of transactions can be compared to having a digital ledger, let's say, a ledger that identifies what is owned and maps what is owned to its rightful owner. And then we have peer-to-peer network, the near synonym of a decentralized platform. The best example of a peer-to-peer network is BitTorrent. When you try to download a torrent, you don't actually get it from a single server. You actually get bits and pieces from computers across the globe who've already downloaded the torrent onto their computer. And once your download of the torrent is complete, you actually get the chance to participate in the network by contributing some of your internet and upload speed to send bits and pieces to other people like you who are trying to download that same torrent. Finally, there's crypto and currency. Currency in the world of blockchain is information, and cryptography is the glue that sticks this information to its rightful owner and shields it from theft and or manipulation. Cryptography is the element which enables the phrases record of transactions and peer-to-peer network to exist in the same sentence. But how is the digital ledger actually stored on every peer's computer whilst maintaining full privacy and security? Well, physical ledgers, as you know, are books. They store content, they're ordered and connected, ordered with page numbers and connected to the book's spine. On the blockchain, these three elements of the ledger and the very important information they contain are taken apart, referenced to each other, or in other words, chained, hence the word blockchain, and then they're encrypted. So basically, at the very end of the blockchain, so basically the most recent block, is safeguarded by three levels of encryption. Its contents, as well as what blocks is preceding and succeeding, are all encrypted. And obviously, the more you would want to go back and edit the blockchain, the more and more difficult it will become, especially since the blockchain is constantly getting added to it. Whenever a block is added to the blockchain, all the nodes in the network race to decrypt and verify it, and whichever node finishes faster is rewarded. But that doesn't complete the job. The rest of the nodes then compete to verify the winning node's work, and if a node then finds an error, that reward is then taken from the presumed winner and then given to the correct one. This is what makes the blockchain easy to understand. It's a system that aligns perfectly with human nature. How we respond to incentives, how we respond to reward and punishment, and how we trust in a trustless world.